America won the Revolutionary War, but the early United States lacked a working government. 13 distinct states operated with competing rules and no central authority, putting the alliance at immediate risk of tearing itself apart. James Madison stepped into this vacuum to treat the crisis as a design problem, approaching the new government as its primary systems architect. At the 1787 convention, Madison drafted the foundational document that still governs the country. The prominent "We the People" calligraphy stands as physical evidence of his comprehensive blueprint. Looking at the mechanical structure of Article 1, you see how he engineered a power shift. He took loosely aligned, fractured states and wired them into a single, unified federal machine. Madison earned the title Father of the Constitution by realizing that lasting liberty required more than just the absence of a king. It required a meticulously designed system of governance. Writing the rules was only the first step. Madison immediately faced political backlash from states afraid of yielding their independence. This new system was useless unless the states formally agreed to install it. To secure ratification, Madison launched a coordinated intellectual campaign, teaming up with Alexander Hamilton and John Jay to win over a skeptical public. They published a series of essays known as the Federalist Papers. This collection provided the intellectual branding necessary to move the Constitution from a draft to a functional law. Panning down to the print date from 1787 anchors the timeline of this defense. Within these pages, Madison and his team addressed critics by demonstrating how specific checks and balances would prevent the federal government from becoming a tyranny. The states eventually adopted the framework, and Madison successfully installed his theoretical operating system. However, it remained to be seen if a paper blueprint could hold the nation together when subjected to external pressure. In 1809, Madison's role changed. He moved from designing the system to operating it, taking office as the fourth president of the United States. He immediately inherited escalating tensions with the British Empire. British forces refused to respect American sovereignty and used naval restrictions to threaten the young nation's economy. The conflict exploded into the War of 1812, often called America's Second War of Independence. This was the ultimate, violent stress test of Madison's creation. This trial tested whether a constitutional republic could survive a direct military assault by a superpower. The test reached a breaking point in 1814, when British forces broke through American defenses and invaded the capital. The British military set fire to the newly constructed White House and federal buildings, dealing a physical blow to the center of government. With the capital in ashes, political panic spread. Many feared the nation was teetering on the brink of collapse. Yet while the physical headquarters burned, Madison's underlying system of laws remained intact. The fire destroyed the brick and mortar, but it could not reach the constitutional framework. This moment raised a critical question. Does the American experiment die with its physical buildings, or does its power reside in the resilient framework Madison built decades prior? As the war concluded, the results were clear. The system held. The destruction of the buildings did not end the republic. Madison continued to command the country through the remainder of the conflict, proving that the executive branch remained functional even while displaced from its headquarters. He immediately oversaw the reconstruction of the original White House, an act meant to signal institutional continuity and resilience to the world. Through this crisis, Madison proved that a well-engineered constitutional republic is decentralized enough to survive a direct strike to its capital. By the time Madison left office in 1817, the United States had moved past its status as a fragile prototype. The government that once existed only on paper had survived an invasion and remained intact. Successfully navigating the War of 1812 validated the very theories and safety mechanisms Madison had proposed 30 years earlier in the Federalist Papers. Madison's career connected his two distinct roles: the theorist who drafted the nation's laws and the commander who enforced them while the Capitol burned. James Madison's legacy is the proven durability of the American system. He was the architect who designed the machinery of freedom and the operator who ensured it could survive the flames.